the Jews are, according to my opinion, they're more like a together nation. Like they support each other. They don't say bad things about each other. You understand?
Like the Greeks
and they
do.
create affluency around them. Whereas the Greeks, you know how they are with each other.
Yes.
They blame each other for everything. They speak behind their backs, and even if they say they love their God, they might find a way to curse their God any chance they get. So is that a reason why they are deteriorating as well? And the Jews are still affluent in a way?
The Jews will always remain affluent, not only because they have common sense. Of course, many people have common sense, but they do have the intelligence gene to the extreme. There is another thing. The Jews are comfortable with money. Greeks are not. And many nationalities are not. And many individuals are not. I used to live in New York. There's an area called the Upper West Side, and I lived there. There's a lot of Jews living on the Upper West Side. And I remember I was on Broadway, sitting on like a bench in the middle of the street there. They have something like a green area, and you sit there, and I was having a drink, a smoothie. It was getting dark, and I could see all the nice big apartments inside. And I was talking to my soul, and I asked my soul, why do Jews always have money? And I get an answer right away that shook me to the core. The answer was, because they like it. I was like, my breath almost stopped, because I thought, is it that easy? And my higher self replies, everything is that easy. You complicate it. So the Jews like money, so they'll always have it, because they're comfortable with it. Greeks always say, I don't want too much money, just enough to live comfortably. Or they say, I'm not doing this for the money, I'm doing it for... And money doesn't come to them. Money is alive. The Jews are comfortable with this energy called money. You'll never hear a Jew say, I'm not doing this for the money. Yes, I am. What's your problem? But the Greeks, and many other nationalities, will always say, no, money's not good. So that's what's keeping them... Oh, wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry, my mind went away. Yes, what was the question again? Because I don't think I answered the question.
No, about how Jews stick together and
yes.
don't.
Is this why the Greeks have deteriorated?
They just don't
No,
stick
not
together.
at all. Not at all. No. The history that the Jews have gone through has forced them to stick together in order to survive. Greeks did not go through that kind of history. No, the Greeks did not deteriorate because they do not stick together. Even if Greeks do stick together, it's just not necessary anymore. We don't live in the caves now, and we don't live in the Holocaust now. We do not need to stick together. We are living in an age of individuality, and we will express more and more individuality as we go into the fifth dimension. The Greeks have deteriorated because the collective consciousness said, I need someone to be the first, to take back their power. Let's pick a crazy country. Greece is crazy. The Greeks are crazy. They couldn't do this in Norway or Sweden. They just couldn't. And this is why we were chosen. For those Greeks that are listening, in one seminar in Salonika, somebody asked, why was this opportunity given to us in such a difficult way? It is so difficult, where our wages have been cut, a lot of us are unemployed, we owe too much money because we borrowed heavily when things were going well. So why couldn't it be given to us in a softer way? So I closed my eyes to channel her soul, and her soul answered, this is the easy way. The difficult way would have been a big earthquake, to where everything in the country is destroyed, and the misery would have reached such an extent where people would have said, I wonder who I am. Who am I? And then that would have changed the collective consciousness of Greece, and then moved on. And then we saw the crisis coming. We did not plan the crisis. You brought the crisis. You meaning Earth. You meaning the people of Earth, brought the crisis, and we thought, great, let's use the crisis as this opportunity. So then we use the crisis, and we simply, as a collective consciousness, as your soul, force you to go in deeper and deeper into debt, so you won't be able to come out so easily.
Okay. Would you like to say something about our young generation?
The young Greek children.
Kids, the way
The
they're
Greek
being
kids.
raised by their parents, the education system that's deteriorating day by day.
Okay, the education system worldwide is deteriorating simply because it's useless for where we're going. We're teaching our kids facts and figures as we speak, and they're useless where we're going. The energy, or the theme of the third dimension is called survival. And in some circles, karma, but it's mostly about survival. The theme of the fifth dimension will be expression. We are going to express who we are every day, every minute of every day. When we are focused on survival, we cannot do that. The schools are still teaching the kids how to survive in a system that someone has created. How to survive in the system. The system is collapsing now, not because it's wrong. It simply doesn't support the individual, and it does not support expression. It was very good for survival, and as long as we make money from the system's great. And then as soon as we lose our job, then we blame the system. The system is perfect. It did its job very well. It has pulled billions of people out of poverty, and many more things that I can't even think of right now. It's simply the system is collapsing because our world as we know it is collapsing. We're leaving the consciousness of survival. We're leaving the energy of where we have to survive, of where we wake up in the morning and we say, how will I survive today? In the fifth dimension, we will be waking up every morning and asking ourselves, how can I express today? So that's why the education system is collapsing. Now, with Greeks, though, we have another problem. Greeks have such a need to play the role of the parent because it's been put into their DNA from a very young age. If you're not a mother, you're nothing. And the Greek girls believed it. So they have such a need to play the role of the mother. And in some cases, men have the need to play the role of the father, but it's more the women that have the need to play the mother role. That they raise their children to constantly need them. They need their children constantly needing their mother. So that way, the mother has secured a role for the rest of her life. And you'll see children, Greek young adults in their 20s and even 30s, that are totally useless. They can't even get a job because they can't think without their mother. Their mother calls them 8 to 20 times a day on their cell phone. Their mother knows every step, where they are, what they're going to do next. Have they gotten to that point yet? Okay, call me when you get there. That is hurting Greece as a nation because these Greeks cannot perform anything. These Greeks cannot run a government. They cannot run businesses. They cannot even run themselves because they're so useless. They're still children and they're playing the role of the child just so mummy can have a job, and her job is to play mummy. And because the world demographics are changing right now, we have so many new immigrants in Greece. For a small country like Greece, we're like almost 30% immigrant. And they're going to take over. Simply because they are not as, I don't know a word for it. How would we say mamothrefta in English? I don't even think they have that word.
Mommy's little
children, or mommy's little boy. And they're going to take over, which is okay. There's no right or wrong, and all Earth will become one country in the fifth dimension. So it doesn't matter who's taking over. But Greeks have raised at least one generation that is now useless. It isn't useful for anything. It can't do anything. They can't even think. They cannot make a decision. You go to restaurants and it takes them 10 full minutes to order because they can't make a decision. Should I have this or should I have that? Because they're not taught to make decisions. Mommy keeps saying, I'll do this for you. I'll do that for you. So that's why I keep using the word useless, because it's what they are. They're not used. What I say it in English? They're just useless. Let's keep it there.
You've mentioned that there's going to be violence from the children towards the parents. That we're going to find lots of parents being killed by their kids.
This is going to happen all over the world, but especially in countries like Greece. A parent is the worst thing that can happen to a soul, because a parent has a need to play the role of parent. Most parents have children for attention anyway, most, like 92%. There is a very small percentage of the population that at a soul level has said, I'm going to Earth and I'm going to be a parent. That's only 8% of the world population. And they wrote in their little soul book, I'm going to be a parent. The rest of the population is having children for different reasons. So what I'm going to say now is for the rest of the population. We have a need for attention, we become a parent. We're afraid to be alone. In the future, we become a parent. We try to keep a man, we get pregnant, and then we become a parent. Those people are going to have a very difficult time in the next dimension, and children are going to either leave them. In some countries like Northern Europe, they're simply going to leave at a very young age, at the age of 14 or 15. They'll leave home. In countries like Greece, where it's almost unheard of to leave home, nobody leaves home. You just don't leave home unless you're married. Some children are going to see that this mother or this father has held me back from what I have come here to express. And because in Greece, the way our buildings are built, we all have balconies, they're just going to throw their parents from the balcony. It's the easiest way to kill your parent without having any proof that you've done it. So yes, we are going to have a lot of things like that. In America, they already have children taking guns and killing their parents. It's not that the children are evil or the children are bad. It's the child feels like, I'm not expressing what I have come here to express. They don't know, they can't say it in those words because they don't know what they've come to express. And because they don't know what they've come to express, they can't express it to you and say to you, I've come for this and this, and you want me to do this and this and this, and you're forcing me to do this and this and this. And you're threatening me that if I do not do this and this and this, there will be no love. There will be no spending money. You might even kick me out of the house. So in America, they take guns and they shoot their parents. That's going to continue as well. But we don't have guns in Greece. So
we have in Crete. Everybody has
guns. We're doing
guns.
Crete.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Cretans have guns.
I have heard of that before as well. Okay. Well, in Crete, they might kill them like they do in America. But in the rest of Greece, they're simply going to throw them off the balcony. And we're going to see it to an extent where people will say, what is wrong? What is wrong with these kids? Are they on drugs? We always blame drugs for everything. No. There's a very good bumper sticker in America. People who can't take drugs do reality. If more people did drugs, this would be a much better place. But they always find the very, very, very small percentage of the population that uses drugs that become addicts and that don't look very pretty and that lose their teeth and show us what drugs do.